Welcome to the NBA playoffs edition of NBA Update. Today I will be previewing the conference finals. I'll start with the Eastern Conference and then move on to the Western Conference. The Eastern Conference finals will be between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. Even though these are the two best teams in the Eastern Conference in the regular season, the Cleveland Cavaliers are clearly the favorites in this series. They have swept through both their playoff matches and have their big three going and firing on all cylinders, as well as contribution from key role players. While the Toronto Raptors have had to go through 2 Game 7s in order to get to the conference finals. With the contribution from key role players along with Lebron, Kyrie, and KLOve, the Cavs look to be looking at another trip to the finals this year. The key matchups this series are LeBron versus Derozan. LeBron is going to be the key to the offense as the offense flows through him. He gets most of the primary assists on Cleveland's points. Although Kyrie will factor into some assists, most of the play flows through LeBron James. DeMar DeRozan is going to have to step up if Toronto is going to have a chance to win. Because if DeRozan doesn't show up this series, it's going to be a short one. The next matchup is Kyrie Irving versus Kyle Lowry. For his own personal merit, Kyle Lowry needs to show up this series. There have been comparisons online saying Kyle Lowry is better than Kyrie Irving. Well, this playoffs, Kyrie Irving has been one of the better players in the NBA, while Kyle Lowry has not been. So Kyle Lowry has to go out there and prove that he is an elite point guard and be among the top ranks, because Kyrie Irving has proven that he is. Another matchup to pay attention to is Kevin Love versus Patterson. Without Jonas Valanciunas, the Toronto Raptors are really deprived in size and interior play. But they will need 2 players to step up in Patterson and Bismack Biyombo, who is going to be their X factor this series. Patrick Patterson is going to have to step up his game dramatically, and he played a huge role in Toronto's Game 7 victory against Miami. So he's going to have to do more of the same in this series if Toronto is to win. Kevin Love played tremendous the first 2 rounds for Cleveland. He's going to have to continue playing like that. He's going to have to continue putting the 18 and 12 or something that he has been putting up in the playoffs, because those are very respectable numbers. As I mentioned before, Bismack Biyombo is also an important part of the Toronto Raptors. He's the X factor to the team. He's going to be the starting center, replacing Jonas Valanciunas. Although he doesn't have the offensive upside that Jonas Valanciunas does, he can rebound and he can block shots. He's a solid defender, but he is a major downgrade from Valanciunas. So he's going to have to try to elevate his play in order for Toronto to have a chance to win the series. And the X factor for Cleveland is Christian Thompson. Christian Thompson is a rebounding machine. With all the shots that Cleveland likes to fire up, Tristan Thompson gets a lot of the rebounds on the offensive board when Kevin Love decides to take a rest. Having Tristan Thompson on the team allows them to rest Kevin Love. It also allows them to play Kevin Love at center and put Tristan Thompson at power forward. It allows them to go to small ball as well. So it gives them flexibility in the lineup. The Cleveland Cavaliers will win if Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love continue playing like they have in the postseason, and they get contribution key players off the bench. The Toronto Raptors will win if Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan catch fire and an unsung hero emerges and takes over the series. The prediction for this series is the Cleveland Cavaliers win in 5. Now for the Western Conference Series, will be between the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Golden State not only has the best backcourt in the NBA, but also has tremendous team play. Oklahoma City Thunder, on the other hand, are led by 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA in Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. So this series will be filled with top-ranked talent and star power, as well as hype. So for this reason alone, you will definitely have to tune in to watch this series. Key players or key matchups in this series are Stephen Curry versus Russell Westbrook. This is a marquee matchup. Star point guard versus star point guard. Superstar versus superstar. I think that both players will play their best A game. And Russell Westbrook wants to prove a point that he should have won MVP. Well, while it was voted upon that Stephen Curry was a anonymous MVP of the league, Russell Westbrook wants to prove otherwise this series. As we all know, right now, Stephen Curry may be the best player in the NBA. But this series, he will have his handful with 2 mega head powers in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. So he's going to have to do everything in his power to will his team to victory. Him and Thompson will have to do that. Another key matchup to pay attention to is Kevin Durant and versus Andre Iguodala / Klay Thompson. Sometimes Kevin Durant will be matched up against Klay Thompson. Sometimes he'll be matched up against Iguodala. But I predict the majority of the time he'll be matched up against Iguodala. But if for some reason Klay Thompson is matched up against Kevin Durant, I'm pretty sure he can hold his own. While nobody can exactly guard Kevin Durant, some players do better at defending him, and Klay Thompson is one of the better two-way guards in the league. And he can also play small forward. So, Klay Thompson is no slouch in the defensive end of the floor. The third and final key matchup to pay attention to is Draymond Green versus Serge Ibaka. This may be the key to the series. Draymond Green ran their offense almost while Stephen Curry was out. Draymond Green is way more than the typical power forward. He can bring the ball up the floor. He can grab a board and go coast to coast, dish off for assist. He can stretch the floor and hit a three. He can rebound, and he's just very versatile. Serge Ibaka needs to step up if the Oklahoma City Thunder are to win. In the two previous matchups against Dallas and San Antonio, Serge Ibaka was not that big a factor. It was mainly Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. So in order to win this series, Serge Ibaka needs to show up. The X factor in the series for Golden State is Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes is another small forward for the Golden State Warriors. He could be matched up against Kevin Durant because Iguodala may be coming off the bench, and you may not want to always put Klay Thompson on Kevin Durant because you want him to focus on scoring. So Harrison Barnes is going to have this handful with Kevin Durant, and you can expect a lot of scoring when Harrison Barnes is put on Kevin Durant. So he's going to have to do a good job at defending him, or try his best to defend him. The X factor for OKC is Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter really is the X factor because we all know he has the offensive skill. He can score, but can he commit to playing defense? We saw glimpses of this, but he doesn't always commit to playing defense. So that's the X factor. The Golden State Warriors will win if Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green dominate play, and they get contribution from the bench and play together as a collective unit. The Oklahoma City Thunder will win if Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook take over the series like they did against San Antonio, and they get help from the supporting cast like Serge Ibaka and his Kanter and so on. My prediction is that the Golden State Warriors will win in 6. So that will just about do it for the conference finals preview in the NBA. Next episode, I will be talking about leading scorers in the NBA right now that are still active.